Marvel's Phase 4 has been a pretty big topic of discussion recently, since Black Panther is basically the last movie slash TV show in Phase 4. We still do have Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, but for now, basically, Phase 4 is ending, marking the last movie. Now, I have a lot of things about to say Phase 4. Phase 4 is it's very mixed for me. A lot of good things have come out of this. A lot of good characters and movies, like Black Panther 2, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, like, good movies. But then there's some other not-so-good movies, like Black Widow, Thor Love and Thunder, and then, what's the other one? Eternal. It's very mixed for me. But, there's been good things and bad things. So this video, I'm just going to talk about all of that, and I won't be, reviewing every movie. I'll just be talking about how Phase 4, what I think of Phase 4. Let's get into it. First, this is every single person's critique of Phase 4, and it's basically that this is very disjointed and jumbled. Nothing's connected. Now, it's not that nothing's connected, it's just that a lot of things are set up for, characters, TV shows, movies. They're all set up for stuff. Nothing really ends anything. Like, some things do. Some things, like Black Panther Wakanda Forever, that was, a tribute and wasn't really trying to set up a bunch of stuff, but it did, try to set up Ironheart and Shuri's Black Panther. No Way Home was a good example. It didn't really, it brought in these different things, like the multiverses, but, it didn't try to set up anything in particular. Nothing, that happened in this movie really cause a big event besides, you can kind of say the multiverse breaking, that was something, but I don't know if you didn't really single-handedly cause that. It caused Morbius, kind of, so I mean, it wasn't all good. But there's also just some, Black Widow set up a bunch of characters, and it wasn't really about Black Widow, it was really about just her family, and that's fine, but, it was, kind of set up a bunch of stuff. Eternals was a really big setup. It was trying to set up so much about the cosmic side of the MCU and these new characters that they just killed off half of them. And, it was just very, everything was disjointed. Nothing connected. Some did. WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness, that was a good connection. But it wasn't, a very, it was the only really, connection that are in Phase 4. Because a lot of connections just never went anywhere or are coming in Phase 5 and 6. Which kind of brings me to, now the positives. The positives are, again, a lot of good movies and good characters were introduced and made in Phase 4. I really like a lot of the characters, and some of the, old ones getting good. So I like getting, good, the endings almost. I like Kate Bishop, and, just Hawkeye series in general. A lot of people didn't like it, but I personally enjoyed it. Another thing is Falcon and Winter Soldier. I like, John Walker, and I'm excited to see him in Thunderbolts. I like a lot of the characters in Black Widow. I don't really like the movie that much, but I do like a lot of the characters. Love and Thunder, I thought had some pretty good characters, but it wasn't really too good of a movie either. No Way Home, especially, that movie, Tobey and Andrew, bro, that was, I died when Tobey came. I was so excited. Because the second Andrew came, I was like, Tobey's coming, and it was so emotional for me. I love Tobey. I'll probably make an entire video about that trilogy, even though, everyone already has. But anyways, so, yeah, that's kind of a brief summary of what I think of Phase 4. I think, a lot of things were good about this, but I think just the disjointedness or, disconnectedness, there's the word. Disconnectedness really set it apart and not at the other phases. Because this suffers from a problem that we all knew was coming, but it definitely was bad. I forgot what video was it, but they called it the post-Endgame problem. Now, the post-Endgame problem is basically where, Phase 1, 2, and 3 was a big 10-year, 11-year build-up to a final movie, a final two-part movie that would basically mark the end of, this era of the cinematic universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Endgame, everything was built up, but it wasn't just built up. Phase 2 and 3 were built up. Everything set up characters. They didn't set up characters, they introduced characters. They didn't try to set up like thousands of characters for this one event. No, they introduced them slowly. They made good movies. They prioritized making good movies sometimes for, different things. And yes, some of them failed, but they weren't because they were trying to set up a bunch of stuff for Endgame. It's because they just failed as movies and failed as introducing new characters. That's what phase 1, 2, 3 were. They weren't set up for this. They were just the build up and the way, like the kind of connectedness to Infinity War and Endgame. This doesn't have that. This is immediately trying to set up a new event, but it doesn't work as much because it's not we can't care about a lot of these characters. A lot of them, obviously, a lot of the original Avengers are either retired or dead, and just a lot of heroes. It's like different things are like some like aspects of the MCU are just so big that when they go, die, or leave, it's just kind of like, what are you supposed to do now? Like, are you supposed to watch and not watch? Like, why should you care now? And especially with some reports of Thor might leaving, Hulk's probably gonna leave soon, Hawkeye's basically retired. It's just the original Avengers and the original part of why we care are kind of just disappearing, and it's becoming a problem because we like it. They're trying to set up this big event, that being Secret Wars, but they're just like it's so rushed, and they're not really taking quality. They're not trying to take quality into account. They're trying to take quantity, and they're trying to take like all this stuff to be able to make a big event. And I think that's just the problem, and that's what's really hurting this. And I think that if they really like stopped trying to like force all these out and try to, get so many projects out in the year, I think it would be way better because you could tell individual standalone stories with building up to bigger things. And the TV shows are a big part because they're just so short or long that it's just you can't you can't keep up with all this stuff. TV shows, you don't have Disney Plus and you just casually watch the movies and you want to stay up to tune. It's going to be hard because it's just so hard to stay up to tune when all this stuff is going on. You have to keep up with all these TV show specials, and you don't know what's MC or not because of the multiverse. It's becoming a problem with casual viewers, and it's to the point where casual and even hardcore fans are starting to get disinterested of the franchise because it's just all this stuff. It's just not as important. It's not as big as Endgame. It's just a normal day in the park now. And I think that's really the problem with Phase 4. I do like Phase 4, but it just suffers so many problems and the post-Endgame problem. So what do you guys think of just the entirety of Phase 4? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What are your thoughts? Say in the comments. See ya.